Level 1. The Concrete Womb. You are born on June 16, 1971, in East Harlem, New York City. Your mother, Eyez Shakur, is a Black Panther. She is also, at the moment of your birth, 1 month out of prison, where she spent the better part of your gestation defending herself in court against 156 counts of conspiracy against the United States government. She wins. Barely. You come into the world with nothing. No money, no father in the house, no fixed address. The apartment is cold. The walls are thin. But there is a woman in that apartment who believes, with the ferocity of someone who has stared down the federal government, that the world can be changed. She reads you the Black Panther Party manifesto the way other mothers read fairy tales. You are not born into comfort. You are born into a war. You just don't know it yet. Some children are given a foundation. You are given a fire. Level 2. The Actor's Son. You are 12, Baltimore, Maryland. Your mother enrolls you in the Baltimore School of the Arts. This is not a decision that makes sense on paper. You are poor, you are Black, you live in a neighborhood where the sidewalks are cracked and the corner stores are bulletproof. But you walk into that school and something shifts. You study Shakespeare, you study Chekhov, you play the role of the Mouse King in The Nutcracker. You recite Hamlet in a classroom that smells like chalk dust and old wood. Your classmates are wealthy, some of them are white. None of that stops you. You move through those rooms with a certainty that other students spend years trying to manufacture. You write poetry, not because anyone tells you to, because something inside you needs a shape, and poetry is the only container wide enough to hold it. You also meet a girl named Jada. You are not lovers, you are something rarer. Mirrors. She sees you, you see her. In a life that will offer you very little stillness, this friendship becomes one of the few constants. The stage teaches you this. To survive, you must first learn to transform. Level 3. The Hunger Road. You are 17. Eyez is losing the battle with crack cocaine. The family moves, then moves again. Marin City, California. A low-income housing project called The Jungle. The name fits. You sleep on floors. You sell drugs briefly, not because you want to, but because wanting and surviving are not always the same thing. You watch your mother disappear into something you cannot fight with words or fists or poetry. You watch and say nothing because there is nothing to say. The woman who once stood before 12 jurors and won, reduced to a ghost in her own apartment. This is the education that the Baltimore School for the Arts could never give you. You carry a notebook everywhere, pages filled with rhymes, with fury, with something that hasn't yet found its name. You freestyle on street corners. You audition for any act that will hear you. You are hungry, not metaphorically, literally. There are days when the hunger is a physical thing, pressing against the inside of your ribs. You get a job as a roadie for a rap group called Digital Underground. They let you rap one line on a track, 12 words. You deliver them like a man who has been waiting his entire life for exactly that much space. Hunger sharpens what comfort dulls. You are becoming something sharp. Level 4. The Voice from the Rubble. You are 20. Tupacalypse Now drops in November 1991. It is not a polished record. It is a document. Raw, angular, furious. You rap about police brutality, about poverty, about Black men dying in slow motion while the country looks away. Vice President Dan Quayle calls for the album to be pulled from shelves. He says it has no place in America. You say nothing publicly. You let the music answer. Then Strictly from My NIGGAs follows in 1993. Then Me Against the World in 1995. Written, recorded, and released while you are sitting inside Clinton Correctional Facility on a sexual assault conviction that you maintain to your final breath was unjust. The album debuts at number 1 on the Billboard 200. You are the first artist in history to have an album reach number 1 while incarcerated. You are in a prison cell. Your album is on top of the world. The distance between those two facts is the entire length of your life. To make something that outlives your chains, that is not success. That is defiance. Level 5. The Devil's Bargain. You are 24. Death Row Records. Suge Knight. Los Angeles, 1995. Suge Knight walks into Clinton Correctional and offers you a deal. He will post your $1.4 million bail. In exchange, you will record 3 albums for Death Row. You sign, you walk out of prison on October 12, 1995, into a California sun that feels nothing like freedom and everything like a transaction. Death Row is not a record label. It is a kingdom with a very specific gravity. It pulls everything toward the center. And the center is Suge Knight, 330 pounds, immovable, dangerous in the specific way that men are dangerous when they have learned that the world responds to fear. The East Coast-West Coast war is already burning when you arrive, but your signing accelerates it. You make enemies openly, deliberately, like a man who has decided that restraint is a luxury he can no longer afford. You record songs that name names. You court confrontation the way other men court comfort. Your friends say slow down. You don't slow down. You've never had the mechanism for it. The cage that holds you doesn't always have bars. Sometimes it has a contract. Level 6. The Flood. You are 25. 1996. All Eyez on Me drops on February 13th. Double album, 27 tracks. It sells 566,000 copies in its first week. Nothing in hip-hop has looked like this before. A document so enormous, so densely alive, that it sounds less like an album and more like a man trying to say everything before time runs out. You record compulsively through the summer. Machiavelli, the Don Killamini, the 7-Day Theory. You record it in 3 days. The lyrics are apocalyptic. The energy is a man running, not from something, but toward the edge of something, toward a reckoning. You buy a house in Atlanta. You talk about leaving Death Row. You talk about starting your own label. You talk about acting, more films. Juice, poetic justice, above the rim. The screen loves your face the way the mic loves your voice. There is a parallel life visible just at the edge of this one, where you walk away from all of it and become something else entirely. But parallel lives are only visible. They are not accessible. A man who creates at that velocity is either running towards something or outrunning something. The difference matters. Level 7. September 7th, 1996. Before. You are 25. It is 5 p.m. on a Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada. You are ringside at the MGM Grand Arena. Mike Tyson is fighting Bruce Seldon for the WBA Heavyweight Championship. You are dressed in black. Black jeans, black vest, no shirt, Death Row medallion. The arena is thick with heat and noise and the specific electricity of a crowd that wants to witness damage. Tyson drops Seldon in the first round, 109 seconds. It is barely a fight. But you are not here for the fight. You are here because this is where you are supposed to be, because this is the current and you have let the current carry you. In the lobby, after the bout, you see a man named Orlando Anderson, a Crips member. He had allegedly attacked a Death Row associate in a Foot Locker weeks earlier. You confront him. A melee breaks out. Bodies, fists, the marble floor of the MGM Grand. Security intervenes. Anderson is ejected. You walk away. You do not go to the hospital. You do not go home. Suge Knight hosts an after-party at Club 662. You agree to ride with him. The decision you do not make is the one that defines you. Level 8. September 7th, 1996. After. You are 25. It is 11:15 p.m. Flamingo Road. The convoy rolls east. Suge drives a black BMW 750i. You are in the passenger seat. The windows are down. The desert air is dry and warm against your arm. Las Vegas at night is a city made entirely of light. Every sign, every marquee, every headlight throwing color across the dark asphalt. A white Cadillac pulls alongside. The rear window drops. The first shot enters your chest. The second enters your pelvis. The third grazes your hand. The fourth grazes your thigh. Suge is grazed by a fragment. The Cadillac accelerates and disappears into the grid of the city. You are still conscious. Police arrive. Paramedics press gauze into wounds that the body cannot negotiate. You undergo surgery. Your right lung is removed to stop the internal hemorrhaging. You survive the night, and the next, and the next. For 6 days you hold. On September 13th, 1996, at 4:03 p.m., Tupac Amaru Shakur dies. He is 25 years old. No arrest is ever made. No one is ever charged. The white Cadillac is never formally traced. The shooter has no public name, no public face, no public consequence. The case remains open. Some fires are not put out. They simply run out of world to burn. Level 9. The voice that didn't stop. You are gone. In the weeks after your death, Machiavelli, the Don Killamini The 7-Day Theory, releases. It debuts at number 1. In the years that follow, 7 more posthumous albums release, then more, then more. Recordings you made in hours, in afternoons, in sessions that felt like sprints, they become the material of a career that outlasts your body by decades. All Eyez on Me becomes one of the best-selling rap albums in history. Your image appears in murals in Baltimore, in Compton, in Havana, in Cape Town. Your words are quoted in courtrooms and classrooms, in protests and eulogies. Dear Mama, Keep Your Head Up, Changes. Songs that feel less like songs and more like letters written to a world that hadn't earned them yet. The East Coast-West Coast War continued briefly after your death and the death of Notorious B.I.G. 6 months later. Then something shifted. The violence didn't stop, but the music changed. What you and others built became the grammar of a generation. Afeni Shakur spent the rest of her life protecting your catalog and your name. She died in 2016, 20 years after you. Long enough to see what you became. What you became is this. A voice that refused the silence that bullets were supposed to enforce. A record that kept spinning after the needle should have stopped. A name written in permanent ink on the wall of American music, American grief, American fury. The shooter was never found. The case is still open. The world kept moving. You didn't. And now, see you in history.